Hello friends, hi, this is Ganesh Nayak. We have already discussed about what RAI and AIGP are and how they are compared. Now let's focus on a slightly bigger picture. What is the career value? What are the future opportunities? And how these certifications can help any professional stay relevant as AI adoption is going to continue across industry. And I'm going to address this with few questions. Question number 1. Which certification provides more practical knowledge for real world AI implementation? Both certification actually provides good amount of practical experience, but in a different way. RAI prepares professionals to evaluate and manage AI risk during their implementation, whereas AIGP actually prepares professionals to establish a lot of governance structure around AI. So if your work involves identifying risk, identifying controls, then RAI may be more practical and more connected. But if your work actually involves creating policies, some governance program or some compliance framework, then my dear friends, AIGP will be more practical and more connected to you. So the actual answer depends upon what is your role. Question number 2. Which certification offer best career value in 2026 and beyond? Now friends, both certification actually addresses the rapidly growing area of AI. Organizations are increasingly looking for professionals who actually understand how we can deploy responsible AI, what is the risk management around it, what is the compliance, and how do we create a good oversight. When you talk from the career value perspective, the career value is largely dependent on how these certifications align with your existing expertise. Now, the strongest career outcome usually occurs when you are a professional and you're combining AI knowledge with your current domain expert. Then your career growth will be very high. Question number 3. If you can pursue only one certification, should it be RAI or AIGP? A simple rule which I generally tell students is that choose RAI if your background is somewhere in finance, audit, risk management, banking, control, governance, and you should choose AIGP if your background is somewhere legal, compliance, some amount of privacy, data protection, regulatory affairs, governance program. So the best certification is the one that complements your existing career path. Question number 4. Who should avoid RAI and who should avoid AIGP? Now, if you are someone who wants to learn AI programming skills, someone who wants to learn machine learning development or data science, then RAI is not the course for you. If you are someone who is more into technical AI engineering, model development, coding skills, or advanced data sciences, then AIGP is not your course. Neither of these certifications is actually designed for AI engineers. They are actually designed for people who want to get into governance and oversight certification. Question number 5. Which certification is easier for working professionals to complete while managing their full-time job? Both these certifications are designed with in mind that it is going to be taken by working professionals. So, however, many candidates find AIGP slightly easier to fit in their schedule because the syllabus is more governance oriented and less focused on risk. But that's just the difference, and that difference is slightly not very dramatic. In the sense, the study discipline is definitely required for both. The time allocation is definitely required for both. So from that perspective, both the certifications are almost same. Question number 6. Which certification is likely to have a stronger demand as AI adoption is going to continue in industry? Now, what I have heard that AI adoption is going to increase and organization will need both somebody who is a governance professional and somebody who is also a risk professional. Risk and governance are basically those two sides of the same coin. So organization just cannot deploy AI without having governance and cannot deploy AI without looking at the risk. That's why in my understanding, the demand for both these skill set is actually expected to grow over the coming years of time. Question number 7. If your goal is to become future proof and you want to make your career future proof, should you start with RAI or AIGP? Now, future proofing is not just about collecting certification. It is about understanding where is your expertise and which area it is and what area actually companies need. For somebody who is into finance, audit, risk and governance, RAI is often the logical starting point. And somebody who is into say compliance, privacy, legal and policy, then my suggestion would be AIGP would be a good starting point. But if you look at from a long-term perspective, your career, what I would suggest you is that do both. Do RAI also and do AIGP also. Why? Because it adds a flavor of governance and risk into your CV. And both these certification requires disciplines to clear. Ultimately, a right certification will primarily depends upon your professional background, your career goals and your expertise. But ideally, both over a longer period of time can give you very good value.